सॉल्विंग SFGs डे एंड नाइट। लेवल 1 नहीं किया था उन्होंने पहले सॉल्व, तो रात रात को बैठ के करते थे।
मेरे को वो एक रैंक की तलब लग गई थी सर। एक बार आने लगी तो फिर लगा कि नहीं यार, नीचे नहीं जानी चाहिए।
जो यहाँ पे टेस्ट होगा आई विल गिव, चाहे मैंने कैसे भी दिया हो, पर मैंने वो टेस्ट रेगुलर दिए जब तक मैं यहाँ पे था।
Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to the Hindu newspaper analysis town hall. Today is November 26th and we are going to cover the following articles from the Hindu newspaper. Today's articles are very important from the mains point of view. Okay, so the first article will be the summit between the President Trump and Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi crown, that happened last week. So we will see in the international arena how the relation between US and Saudi have evolved and what is going to be the impact on India. Second, personality rights. Personality rights are very much in news today. So we will discuss what are personality rights, what are the various models, and what are the various issues with personality rights in India in the age of AI. Third, draft sheets bill. We will see the provisions of this and what are the various challenges. Fourth, custodial violence. Supreme Court has wrapped the central government, asking the Union of India is taking the court very lightly. Why? Regarding the CCTV installation in prisons and rooms where the prisoners are kept and investigated. Fifth, net FDI in India turns negative for the second straight month. We'll see. Yes. Last week, summit happened between the President Trump and Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi crown. Okay, let's go to the history a little bit, how the relation has evolved. Okay, but our main focus will be on what is the impact on India, the recent summit. Okay, the relation between Saudi and America, it is like more than 80 years ago. It predates United Nations, NATO, and Bretton Woods institutions. It all started with oil. See, Middle East is a volatile region, okay? But Saudi has oil and US wanted it. So in exchange for the oil, US ensured the security for Saudi, okay? And also Saudi started selling the oil in US dollars. So that is how the relation started. But with time, with the discovery of shale technology in US, okay, now what happened is US became the world's largest producer of crude after the discovery of shale, and it also became the exporter. So dhire dhire it led to decline in the bilateral merchandise trade and the balance of trade swinging in America's favor. Okay, America not only produced for its own consumption but also started exporting it. Okay, so presently the President Trump during his second term first visited Saudi Arabia in May 2025. And he signed an agreement to supply 142 billion worth of military equipments, security. In return, Mohammed bin Salman agreed to invest $1 trillion in US. Okay, this $1 trillion is like the country's entire GDP. Okay, so there's no fixed time frame, but this is the amount which the Saudi has promised to invest in US. So all these angles, the oil, the dollar, the security in Middle East, what is the impact on India? Okay, first of all, security concern. See, there's a last month only we discussed about the Saudi-Pakistan defense partnership, in which the agreement was signed, and in this agreement it is that if any attack on any country happens out of these two, it will be considered as an attack on the other. Okay, so if in case India attacks on Pakistan, so Saudi will consider it as an attack on Saudi. This is what the literal meaning of the defense partnership between Saudi and Pakistan is. And now this is backed by US, because US is engaging with Saudi as well as Pakistan. Okay. So therefore, it may give Pakistan access to advanced US arms. Okay. So any conflict between India and Pakistan in the upcoming times, if any is there, then in such case US will be backing the Pakistan with the advanced US arms. Okay, Second, oil market dynamics. See, India's dependence on oil from Russia was increased. Earlier, it was less than 1% before the Russia-Ukraine war. Then it increased to up to 40%. Now, slowly, India is reducing its reliance on Russia. One of the major reasons is the tariff imposed by President Trump. In such case, what India wants? First one is India wants oil cheaply, okay, at low prices. But price is not the only concern. Second thing is predictability, okay, during the in the oil prices. So this dynamics will also see US, Saudi, and India is also promised to now buy oil and LNG from the US. So India is basically focused on the predictability of oil prices and also the supply. देन इकोनॉमिक अपॉर्चुनिटी भी है. अब सऊदी का विजन है 2030 का कि अपने बिजनेस को ऑयल से डाइवर्सिफाई करना चाहते हैं. दे वांट टू डाइवर्सिफाई फ्रॉम द ऑयल, लाइक सेटिंग अप ऑफ एआई डेटा सेंटर्स. ओके, so in these initiatives, India's IT and services firm can definitely take advantage. Okay, India can heavily invest there and reap the benefits. Strategic space also important. Like what is happening is Saudi जो है धीरे धीरे reducing its dependence on China. ठीक है. So if Saudi is reducing the space for China, so India can deepen its economic and tech cooperation. Okay, and also can push for comprehensive economic partnership agreement with Saudi and the countries in the region. Connectivity also. If Saudi-US relations improves, Israel will come automatically. Then in this equation, it can help India in restarting its India, Middle East, Europe economic corridor. Okay. So these are the various impacts on India, challenges as well as the opportunities. Yes, next article, decoding personality rights in the age of AI. The recent context is Abhishek Bachchan and Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, they filed a lawsuit against Google and YouTube in Delhi High Court. Okay, they say that the videos on the internet, they portray them in fictitious and also explicit scenarios. It infringes upon their personality rights, reputational rights, financial damage. So first of all, we have to see what are personality rights. Okay, personality rights are the legal rights. Okay, for example, that allow an individual to control the commercial, personal, and reputational use of their identity, like something that belongs to somebody. Okay, for example, personality rights in Bollywood say 𝐻𝐾𝐸. 𝐻𝐾𝐸 what is associated with Jackie Shroff, okay, or Anil Kapoor. This is Anil Kapoor 𝐻𝐾𝐸 only, not Jackie Shroff. So personality rights are the legal rights. So this belongs to the personality of that individual, of the Anil Kapoor. Okay, right? So similarly, an individual can have, for example, 𝐼𝐸𝐿 Singh can have his voice. It belongs to his personality, right? So such things belongs to the personality rights. They protect features that uniquely identifies a person, like name, image, photographs, likeness, appearance, voice, signature, gestures. All these things which make part of our personality becomes our personality rights. Examples are these. Okay, these rights ensure that no one can use a person's identity without the consent. Until and unless you have my consent, you can use my personality rights, my identity, whether for commercial gain, entertainment, or any other purpose. So these days, this is very much in news, like cases of Amitabh Bachchan versus Rajat Negi. The court recognized personality rights. Then Anil Kapoor versus Simply Life India, where AI reproduction of Anil Kapoor's identity and his catchphrase like 𝐻𝐾𝐸, they were banned for diluting brand value. Similarly, 𝐼𝐸𝐿 Singh case may be court protected 𝐼𝐸𝐿 Singh's voice from AI replication. Okay. Now, what kind of model India follow regarding personality rights? Okay, there are basically two models of personality rights. See, we'll take the example of 𝐼𝐸𝐿 Singh's voice. Okay. The first model is dignity-based model. In this model, personality rights, we consider that they have originated from human dignity and privacy. Okay, if something belongs to me, then I have the right to keep it private. It has come from the dignity and privacy. Okay? It is considered as extension of the personality, not a commercial commodity. In this model, personality right is not considered a commercial commodity. The identity is not for sale. So, for example, jhakas, it belongs to a personality, so you are protecting it, but you cannot sell it. Okay, you cannot monetize it in under this model. Rights cannot be permanently sold, transferred, or assigned because dignity is inalienable. Even if a person wants to transfer their likeness forever, the law may prohibit it to protect dignity. It is followed in like China. Okay, in many, even European Union, this model is being followed. Second model is property based model. ये कहाँ होगा guess करो without even discussing कि क्या है इसके अंदर. US. Personality rights are treated as commercial property. Person की जो identity है, voice, image, anything, it becomes the property. It is something they can own, property की तरह, control, monetize, transfer, whatever you want to do with it. So it is the economic value of the celebrity identity. Allow individuals to sell endorsement, license their voice, image, monetize the catchphrase, जैसे हमने झकास देखा भी, and can also claim damage for the economic loss if identity is misused. ठीक है, if somebody using Arijit Singh's voice, producing it with use of AI, they are definitely getting benefit from this. Ultimately, this is something somebody is benefiting, so therefore Arijit Singh is losing out. Okay. India follows a hybrid model, which includes both. Okay. India follows a hybrid approach. Basically, in India, the personality rights, these are very new concepts. It basically started from this Puttaswamy judgment of Supreme Court in 2017, where the right to privacy was declared as a fundamental right under Article 21. Okay. So these are the various cases which shows how these have evolved in India. अब US में भी one of the cases personality rights हैं, they are right of publicity, transferable property interest. एक ये Helan Laboratories का केस है जिसमें there the court has allowed celebrities to monetize their identity. European Union में ऐसा नहीं होता है. Okay, so this is about the personality rights, various models, and what model India follows. So now with the advent of AI, what should be done? How to protect personality rights? UNESCO की recommendation है that ethics of AI 2021. It is basically a rights-based framework. Its principles stress that AI must not exploit individuals. Okay. Second is there's a study by 𝐼𝐸𝐿 and 𝐮𝐩𝐝. According to them, they have critiqued India's fragmented law. कोई dedicated law नहीं है personality rights के लिए इंडिया में. Okay. It can come in prelims. Dedicated law है नहीं है. Okay. It calls for statutory AI definition. There should be definitions of what is AI, what are personality rights, and what will be protected, and what is ethical, what is not. Okay, all these things needs to be codified. India needs legislation that explicitly defines personality rights and enforces AI watermarking, platform liability, and global collaboration. What is AI watermarking? क्या है? If something, some content is being produced with the use of AI, then on that video or picture, it should be watermarked that it is AI produced. Okay, so that we can get to know whether it is real or being produced by AI. Okay, next article, draft seeds bill. Union Agriculture Ministry ने release किया है अभी, and it has sought comments from the public. 1 month has been given. It is supposed to amend the Seeds Act of 1966 and Seeds Control Order of 1983. Okay. Draft seed bill है, ये इनको amend करेगा, and then the goal is ensuring the quality of seeds, promoting ease of doing business. देखो, quality seeds क्या करेगा? Productivity increase करेगा, which will ultimately benefit the farmer and overall economy. Promote ease of doing business, reducing compliance burden on the companies, also the farmers who are producing the new seeds, and strengthening the penal provisions for serious violations. Okay. In 23 and 24, the country had overall requirement of 462 lakh quintal of seeds. This was the requirement. अब status देख लेते हैं इंडिया में seeds enough है या नहीं. 462 lakh quintal was required, but we had 508 lakh quintal. Therefore, oversupply, surplus of 46 lakh quintal of seeds. Right? But the industry has been calling that this act should be amended in 1966 ka, because scientific and technological advancement has already happened. Let us see. What are the core provisions of the new draft seeds bill? Farmer has been given full rights to grow, save, sow, resow, exchange, or sell their seeds. The restrictions only when they sell brand name. That is, the seeds are sold under a brand name. Then the rules will apply. Restriction will be there. Okay. So therefore, maintaining a balance between traditional rights, okay, and branded seeds quality का dilution ना हो. Second, institutional framework. 2 committees will be set up: central level, state level. 27 members in the central committee, 15 members in the states committee. Their functions will be: central committee will recommend standards for germination, genetic purity, physical purity, traits, etc. And registration, dealer, distributor, these will be done by the states committee. Then mandatory registration होगा, mandatory registration of all seeds processing unit, state government के साथ registration, ठीक है. देन सेंट्रल एक्रेडिटेशन सिस्टम होगा ताकि कंपनीज को जो वहां पर ऑपरेट कर रही है स्टेट में उनको ईज हो सके. नेशनल रजिस्टर होगा सारी सीड वैरायटीज का रिकॉर्ड रखने के लिए. मैंडेटरी वैल्यू फॉर कल्टीवेशन एंड यूज. व्हाट इज दिस? सी, a seed is produced in laboratory and we claim that it will increase the productivity, right? But in reality, the output we observe in laboratory versus the output being given on the field, it can vary. So this draft bill has made it mandatory value for cultivation and use क्या आएगा उसके trials होने चाहिए. That is, these seeds first to be sown in the field and accordingly the output has to be observed, okay, before release of this new variety. So mandatory field use होगा उसका. Establishment होगा center and state seed testing laboratories. Penalties have increased. Basically, seed inspector हैं, they have been empowered. Penalty have increased to 30 lakh rupees. Earlier it was 50,000. Imprisonment 3 years. So these are the various basic provisions of the new draft seeds bill. The change is this has been increased 25,000 से 5 लाख कर दिया penalty. Concerns क्या farmer के? So first of all India Kisan Sabha, they said the bill will increase the cost of cultivation because corporates will now indulge in predatory pricing of seeds. अब उनकी प्रोडक्शन में, मैनेजमेंट में कंपनीज विल कम मोर एंड मोर एंड देयरफॉर दे विल डू द प्रेडेटरी प्राइसिंग ऑफ सीड्स. उसकी वजह से इंक्रीज हो जाएगा कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन फॉर द फार्मर्स. Also, it can lead to domestic monopolies and handful of multinational companies who will produce the seeds. Okay. According to them, the draft is heavily centralized and corporatized. Okay, that will weaken the farmer-centric protection. Okay, this is about the draft seeds bill. Yes, custodial torture. Supreme Court wraps government or CCTV compliance. See, the judgment of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has asked the government to install CCTVs in prisons and also where the investigation or where basically the criminal is being asked questions. So that should be under the CCTV monitoring. But government has not done it. The Supreme Court has said that you are taking us very lightly. But अपने लिए important नहीं है. The important thing is custodial death and custodial violence. Supreme Court said even during this period in the last 8 months in Rajasthan only 11 custodial deaths have happened. Okay, so custodial deaths in India is a big issue. What is custodial death? Basically death of a person who is in the custody of law enforcement agencies. जैसे पुलिस है, judicial custody है. Between 2018-19 and 22-23, as per reply in the Lok Sabha, 687 custodial deaths have happened in India. Okay. Highest Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, and UP. Why it happens? What are the reasons? First of all, see, this is about the torture. But India do not have any anti-torture law. We do not have any dedicated anti-torture law. Second, see, public facing का काम किसका होता है? Majorly, if you go on roads, streets, the constables basically, which makes up the 90% of the police. their training is very poor. Okay. Second, training is poor. Third, poor infrastructure and pressure to deliver quick results. Usually during the investigations, there's a political pressure also sometimes on the investigating officer to deliver the quick results. And in order to get the quick results, तो क्या तरीका है? What is the way? Violence, torture. Okay. Weak institutional oversight. There is no oversight on for the criminals or the people who are in the custody of police or judicial custody. Okay. The medical checkups, regular medical checkups. No disciplinary action for the officers involved in death. Conviction hai hi nahi for the policemen who are involved in custodial violence. Societal tolerance is also there. Custodial violence ke liye bhi, and also sometimes for the this culture of shootout. Okay, so if criminal is being shot down by the police officer, people celebrate, encounter. Okay, societal tolerance is there. Also, basically easy targeting of poor migrants. They are the people who are in the jail, and they are the easy targets. There have been various Supreme Court judgments. First is 𝐷𝐸 𝐕𝐢𝐝 case. Supreme Court has laid down detailed guidelines and safeguards against custodial torture. PUCL case में Supreme Court has directed CCTV installation. अभी जो Supreme Court ने हवाला दिया जिस केस का कि 5 years ago we have asked you, it was the Paramveer Singh Saini versus Baljeet case. Take note of these cases, very important. If any question comes in custodial violence in mains, if you do not write these cases, you will not get good marks. Okay. Paramveer Singh, here the Supreme Court mandated compulsory installation of CCTV cameras and recording equipments in police station as a deterrent against custodial violence. We case Puttaswamy mein thai, bodily autonomy as fundamental right. So what should be done? Law Commission की 273rd report की recommendation है that we should have a stand-alone anti-torture law. Okay, all these things should be addressed in that law. Also, we should ratify United Nations Convention Against Torture. We have signed it, but we have not ratified it. So we should ratify the convention. I think the convention ratification would mean that we should have a anti-torture law. So पहले anti-torture law आएगा, then ratification होगा. Okay. Yes, last article. FDI. Net FDI basically month on month basis पे going down and down and down. Okay. It turned negative, minus $2.4 billion. Of this net FDI has been in news for continuously like every month. So you can expect a short question in prelims on net FDI. पहले you should know what is net FDI. FDI, foreign direct investment जो इंडिया में आया, उसमें से net है. It's something to be subtracted from this. What we will subtract? We will subtract the money which has gone out through repatriation. जब फॉरेन कंपनीज अपना प्रॉफिट डिविडेंड को सेंड करते हैं वापस दूसरी, फॉर एग्जांपल यूएस में, यूएस की कंपनी इंडिया में आई, एफडीआई लेके आई, ठीक है, उसके बाद एवरी ईयर वो अपना प्रॉफिट डिविडेंड ट्रांसफर कर रही है यूएस में वापस, इट इज रिपेट्रिएशन, इट हैज टू बी सब्ट्रैक्टेड. इसका कोई इशू नहीं है ज्यादा. सेकंड, डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट, जो फॉरेन कंपनी अपना सेल कर देती है, इट सेल ऑफ देयर एसेट इन कंट्री एंड दे गो बैक. थर्ड, आउटवर्ड एफडीआई, व्हेन डोमेस्टिक कंपनीज, इंडियन कंपनी, they make investment in foreign countries. Okay, this is the outward FDI. Now see the data. जो gross FDI है, net FDI क्या होगा? Gross FDI minus A minus B minus C. Okay, gross FDI has increased 4.3% from the last month, $6.6 billion. But net FDI is minus. It means one of these components is very high. And the major thing is outward FDI. The amount invested abroad by Indians, it grew 64% in September. So this is the major component जिसकी वजह से net FDI minus हो रहा है. Strong inflows है, inflows is good, but it was outpaced by the outflow through the invested abroad by Indian companies. Okay, one more question which can come in prelims that net FDI has been falling consistently in India in the last 5 years. हमें लगेगा consistently पिछले 5 साल most of the statements are wrong, but this is true. This is the net FDI, 44 billion, 38, 28, 10 and 0.4 last year. So in the last 5 years, this has been consistently falling. If such statement comes, then it is true. Okay, so this is it for today's newspaper. I'm attaching these notes in the comment box and description box. If you have any query, you can ask. I will see you tomorrow. Till then, good luck. Goodbye. Thank you.